Welcome to the NBA Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, January 8th. Ian Cameron, Dutch, and Billy Briz. We're here ready to break it down for a Wednesday. Let's get to it. We'll start with Atlanta in Big D against the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs, 2-point home favorites, 233 the total in this game. Atlanta coming off a solid performance on MLK Day at home, hosting the Miami Heat, national television. They get the job done, 121-113 victory for the Hawks on their home floor. It ended up being a pretty good game from the two guards, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray combining for 52 points in the win. We'll see if they can carry that over here on the road where the Hawks have actually started to play better away from home. They've won 3 consecutive away from home coming into this game against Dallas. The Mavs have dropped 2 in a row to the Portland Trail Blazers, looking to bounce back tonight following those 2 games. Money has come in here on the Atlanta Hawks here in this game. And if you look at the lineup situations for Dallas, you can understand why that is. DFS, no, that's not Daily Fantasy Sports. That's Dorian Finney-Smith. He's questionable, although with that hip injury, it looks like he is upgraded to probable. So it's looking like he's going to end up going. Luka Doncic, there was some concern about the ankle tonight. Maybe he'll rest him, but actually does look like he's going to play. So as far as the Dallas Mavericks are concerned, only Clay but Tim Hardaway is what we're looking at here in terms of the absences. It's looking like Luka and Dorian Finney-Smith both going to start. So we look at the money coming in here, obviously, on the Atlanta Hawks. Dallas opened 3.5-point favorites down to now -2 in this game. I wouldn't be so sure I'd be running to back the Hawks here. I'm just waiting to see if this is indeed true with who's going to be in for Dallas, but I definitely lean Dallas a little bit, although I am a little trepidatious right now with Atlanta playing better the last several games. Dutch, how are you seeing this one, Atlanta and Dallas?
Yeah, man. Real quick salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Be sure to hit that like button real quick, share the video, and subscribe to Pub Sports Radio if you have not. Champagne OG, I see you, my man. AOD. Mike M in the building, pimps that play of the motherfucking day. Let's go. I like this game an awful lot. I don't understand all the love for Atlanta, man. I understand they've won 3 straight. Again, they an okay win against the Clippers. Give them love for winning against the Kings, and then they beat the Pacers, obviously, without Halliburton. But they have been playing better basketball of late. I do think Atlanta still is fugazi on the road, and I personally think this is a Dallas spot. It's got it written all over it. They obviously lost 2 straight in Portland, did have 2 days off as well, and Luka didn't play that last game in Portland, so he hasn't played since the 14th. So you got Luka the motherfucking Don as fresh as can be. Sign me the fuck up. First quarter -115, first half -0.5, and give me the full game -2. I like the Mavs here to smack them around. They are, as a favorite this year, 23-10 straight up, and they are 16-6 straight up at the house. We know they have had no problems against the number, but they do win basketball games at the house, and in this spot they have won. So we're pretty much asking them to win at -2. As a favorite, they are 4-1 straight up. Last 5 at home versus Atlanta, and 3-1 overall. 3-1 last 4 overall. Atlanta has played a little bit better on the road, but we've been fading Atlanta on the road for quite some time now. They are 9-14 ATS overall on the road this year. I think it's a Dallas spot. DFS and Green are coming back. Jason Kidd has talked about how that's going to help them from a defensive perspective. No Tim Hardaway. I'm okay with that. I want them to play defense. They don't need people to really score. They got Christian Wood to come off the bench. Dinwiddie can put the ball in the bucket, and we know what Luka the motherfucking Don will do. So play some defense, knock down the open perimeter shots, and run these little motherfuckers out the gym. Mavericks, trifecta spot. Good money.
They are definitely healthy, no question. People in the chat pointing that out about Atlanta. They've got everybody. Trae Young's in. DeJounte Murray's healthy. Clint Capella just came back, although he's still on a minutes restriction. He only played 21 minutes in the return against Miami on Monday, so they're easing him back in gradually, but still, obviously good to have him back and get some of that, your starting center, and get some of that low post front court depth back, obviously with him, even if he is on a minutes limit. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, I mean, the Hawks are starting to play better basketball, but I feel like they're coming off an emotional spot on MLK Day against the Heat. I mean, I feel like the Mavs haven't really been playing well either, though. They're 1-4 ATS, last 5 overall. Historically, the Hawks play well in Dallas. They're 6-2 ATS last 8 meetings in Dallas, and 13-4 ATS last 17 head-to-head. So I went to the prop market in this one here. I went with Luka the Don over 2.5 3-pointers, -155 at Bet365. He comes into this game nice and rested, man. He's only played 5 games last year with 3 days of rest, and he smashed over this 3-point prop 5 out of 6 of those games on 3 days or more rest. He gets a nice solid pace-up spot here versus the Hawks, who I'm not really too high on defensively. I think Luka Don shows out tonight, TNT spot. TNT, or is this ESPN?
ESPN on Wednesday, yeah.
ESPN spot here for Luka Don. 7:30 prime time. Luka's going to go off at home. It seems like the public's starting to kind of even out the line, because last night it went to 3.5, jumped up to 4 a little bit. Now it's down to 2.5. Feels like the Mavs are good money here on the money line, but I'm going to go with Luka Don 3-point prop.
Yeah, both primetime games, Bono. But the only difference is I watch TNT. I don't watch on mute pregame. I mute that ESPN shit.
You don't like Will Vaughn and Jalen Rose and fucking Stephen A? That doesn't.
Man, that shit. I can't believe that.
Nah, man, that's not it, man.
It's not it. And TNT got it. They got it, and they got the absolute fucking opposite. It's crazy.
Even when they have their B rotation in with the chick and the other bull from Bleacher Report, like Adam Lefkoe.
Even with Candace and D Wade and these boys, and Jamal Crawford, like it's still swagged out a little bit, you know.
Yeah, basically ESPN pre-game, halftime, and post-game is like the G League, and TNT is the real thing. That's the NBA.
Exactly.
Yeah, the big time. Yeah,
exactly.
I'll say this right now, and I actually wanted to talk a little bit about the TNT crew because they're just so spectacular. But I say this: I fear the day Charles Barkley retires. He is the glue of that crew. He really is, because he's absolutely hilarious. Yeah,
but he can bust everybody's balls. Like that's one thing about Charles. He busts Ernie, Kenny, and Shaq. And, they all do, but Charles, but nobody else really. But Shaq a little bit. But
and he was the savage to Skip Bayless. Remember after DeMar Hamlin's thing, and Bayless had that tweet that was totally, it's almost like it was heartless, and it didn't even care about the situation. And Charles Barkley brought it up on the air. It was the whole incident with Undisputed with him and Shannon Sharp. All was hysterical. Now it's a great crew. They're hilarious, and best studio show in sports. You don't even have to be a basketball fan for crying out loud. You can enjoy those guys.
Wifey's entertained by it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could hate basketball and you could love Chuck, Kenny, Shaq, and Ernie together on TNT. Sure. Absolutely. All right, next up we've got Washington, New York. Knicks 5-point home favorites, 224 the total in this game. This team's just played recently. It was just last week, a few days ago, in fact, January 13th, and it was New York beating Washington 112-108. In Washington, Knicks were laying 3.5 on the road in that game. They're laying 5 here at home in this game against Washington. So a little rapid revenge here for the Wizards, but they are struggling. That's the one. Like I kind of want to take the points here with the Wizards, but man, they're just 1-5 in their last 6 games, straight up and ATS. The only win was a home win against Chicago, 197. They are struggling, and plus the Knicks are coming off a tough game against the Raptors. They lost in overtime on MLK Day, 123-121. So they'll be looking to bounce back here tonight against the Wizards. As far as the teams are concerned, what a friggin' breath of fresh air it is to see not a single injury on the report for both of these teams. So you're talking about pretty healthy squads going into the game tonight. I do lean Washington here a little bit. If I bet it, maybe small. Because, I do kind of think, revenge spot, catching point. I don't love laying points with the Knicks, but the Knicks probably will bring it too. If they're losing to the Raptors in overtime, they probably are still a little bit better team than Washington. So don't love it, but small bet for me maybe on Washington here. What do you think here, Dutch? Wizards, Knicks?
Yeah, man, I'm on the Knickerbockers first half. It's kind of gotta just ride the trend. Really, what it comes down to. We talked about it a lot here on the show with Billy Darrell and yourself. It's simple. It's the Knicks first half, man. It's -2.5. I think it's good money. They are 6-0 first half ATS. Last 6 at the crib. It's at the crib most of all. And they've lost 3 of these games outright, but they've been up at halftime and covered the spread. So I look for the Knicks to do the same damn thing. They have won 6 of the last 8 basketball games, and getting RJ back, they're not as small, and that was the one thing that really kind of stood out to me. I do like the fact that they had a game that they should have won against the Raptors, gave that game away. Look for them to bounce back. Obviously, you touched on it as well. It being MLK Day at the crib, kind of got embarrassed. They did beat, these boys, as you touched on the 13th, most recently by 4 points in DC. Brunson dropped 34. I believe they have absolutely nothing for Brunson, and Brunson's been playing lights the fuck out. So I believe he'll continue to do that. Kuzma in that game dropped 40 fucking points. And they only shot 27% the Knickerbockers from 3-point line. I expect them to shoot better at the crib. I don't think Kuzma drops 40. Give me 2.5 first half. I like the Knicks. I think this line could be pretty sharp. For somehow, some way, the Knicks like to make the full game a sweat. So I'll stay off the full game. I don't think the Knicks lose this basketball game, but 2.5 first half is good money.
Hell, I think you could go Knicks first half, Wizards full game, and maybe go 2-0. You honestly could. I've seen this movie play out a lot with New York lately. Fast starts, and then the opponent roars back second half. They fall asleep, New York, and the opponent gets the money in the full game. So it's something that's happened before. We'll see if it happens tonight. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, it's like kind of hard to bet the Wizards. They're 1-5 ATS last 6 games overall. Their form has kind of fallen off, but it's just like there's something about the Knicks, man. The only winning record, they're only team with a winning record but have a losing home record. It's like really weird, man. And I tried to hop up on the train last Friday, got fucked on this spot in the first half. So I'm a little bit mad, man. I think I'm just gonna stay off, but I don't blame you. I feel like the Knicks first half is money in the bank. Always one of the best teams to back ATS first half. I think it's Knicks first half or pass.
All right, Charlotte and Houston. Next up, we've got Charlotte here, 2.5-point road favorites in this game, and the total sitting at 236.5, pretty much across the board. Who wants to trust either of these teams? Anybody? I mean, this is just 2 teams that can't get out of their own way. I mean, at least Charlotte did put a win on the board in their last 10, something I can't say about the Houston Rockets, who have lost 10 straight, have covered just 1 point spread during that span. Now they're only getting 2.5. I mean, this is a clear backwood as far as the side is concerned for me in this game. Now, the total, on the other hand, that I might get involved with, because who's playing defense right now, Charlotte or Houston? Nobody right now. We just saw Houston give up 140 their last game, a loss to the Lakers. We saw Charlotte give up 130, a loss to Boston on MLK Day. Charlotte's gone over the total at 5-2 in their last 7 games. Houston's trending over the total at 5-2 as well in their last 7 games. So for me, that's what I'm looking at. Screw it, looking at the winner or trying to pick a winner between these 2 terrible teams. Just trust both teams to not play defense, because that's what they've been putting on the board lately. So for me, over 236.5, want nothing to do with the side. Dutch, I smell a backwood coming. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Backwood this motherfucker.
All right.
Yeah, you might as well throw my brain completely in the fucking garbage if I couldn't figure out that was going to be a backwood right there from our guy, Dutch. Billy Briz, what do you think here? Charlotte and Houston.
I like this game, actually. I think there's some value in this game. The Hornets are 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings, but they're 4-15-2 last 21 meetings in Houston. Their recent forms have been concerning, and I feel like I would caution them being favorites over anybody. So the question is how do we back the Rockets here? The Rockets aren't that bad in the first half, man. The Rockets are 2-6-1 ATS last 9 home games, 3-13-1 ATS last 17 games overall. But the Rockets first half money line's the way to go. They're 24-19-1 first half spread this year, and they're the 7th best team in the NBA for first half spread. So if you like the Rockets, back them on the first half spread. But the one person I can trust in this game is my guy, Alfred Sengun, over 26.5 points and rebounds. He gets a great matchup versus Plumlee, who's been playing well, which is key here, because if he gets more minutes, that secures Sengun's efficiency here. And 9 games this season when Sengun's played 30 or more minutes, he's averaging 20 points per game and 12 rebounds per game. Went off a great spot here in LA. How do you not ride with the guy that put up 52 points, rebounds, and assists in his last game? But we're going to go points and rebounds this time. I'm loving this game, man. I'm going to stay off the Rockets first half, but I'm going to go with Sengun and play a lot of this in daily fantasy.
Oh, yeah, it's a great game from a fantasy or a prop standpoint. I mean, the total's 236.5. You're not going to get much defense. It's an absolutely terrific game, probably, in terms of player props. But the only thing that's bad about this game is the side. Like, who wants to back either of these teams? But you can make money elsewhere. in this game, no question. Miami, New Orleans, we got the Heat 3.5-point road favorites, 220 the total in this game. Well, Martin Luther King Day is supposed to be a great celebration. It wasn't a celebration for me in terms of my bets in the NBA on Monday. It was not a good day for me, other than the Rocket-Laker over at the end of the night went through. But these two teams, I mean, I like Miami. They lost to Atlanta. And I had the Pelicans against the Cavs. What a horrible meltdown that was by New Orleans in that game. They were up big early in the first half, and they let it slip away from them. Second half, they lose by 10, don't even cover the number. Brutal. And that Minnesota, did the same damn shit to me on Monday. It was blowing it against Utah as well. So that was a tough Monday for yours truly. And New Orleans didn't help it. Again, losing by 10 at Cleveland, 113-103. They're back home looking to bounce back. The problem is they're off that 5-game road trip. I don't like teams in this spot. Returning home off a very lengthy road trip. That's New Orleans here. It's a Pelicans team. Also, you look at the lineup tonight. Still no Zion. Still no Brandon Ingram. Again, a Herb Jones game-time decision type of deal. Actually downgraded to doubtful now. So he's going to miss his 4th straight game now for the Pelicans in this game. That's trouble. Miami off the loss to Atlanta. Yeah, I get it why they're taking the money. Do I want to lay 3.5 on the road with Miami? No, but I don't want to take the Pelicans either. So I'm probably passing here. Maybe the over at 219.5, because I always think with no Herb Jones, defense takes a hit for the Pelicans. So maybe the game can get up and over the total. And look, we thought that under was going to hit with Miami, Atlanta, and Miami struggled defensively. So I think New Orleans could score on them. I think Miami could score on New Orleans without Herb Jones. So I might get involved with the over here, 219.5 in this game, 220. What do you think here, Dutch Heat Pelicans?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy RP. I see you, my man. OG Wham in the motherfucking building. JB Brown. Zachary, I see you, my man. Star Child, our guy. Rocco, yeah, man. I like the Mavericks, man. I like Luka the motherfucking Don. I like him early and often in full game. And they ready to rock and roll, my guy. But yeah, for this game, it's a clear backwood. Fuck both of these basketball teams.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Billy.
For Nasty Nate, he said Luka over 2.5 threes. Juice was -155 at Bet365. That was the best odds. FanDuel is fucked, dude, at -188. I would not bet that there. But for this game, this is the Pelicans game, right? Pelicans have been good off a loss, 5-2 ATS last 7 games following an ATS loss. He have historically played well in New Orleans, 6-1 ATS last 7 in New Orleans. How I want to attack this game, though, is in the prop market. I like Bam Adebayo, double-double. Historically, he's played really well against Joe Val, 6 consecutive double-double since the 18-19 season. The rebound totals are ridiculous, 21, 11, 13, 12, 10, and 10. And he's had a double-double in 7 out of his last 10 games. So Bam Adebayo, double-double, -150.
All right, next up, we've got Cleveland and Memphis. Memphis 7.5-point home favorites, 227 being the total in this game. Should be an interesting one here. Cavs and Grizz. Looks like on the Cleveland side of the fence, the big news is Donovan Mitchell out with a groin injury here tonight for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So obviously we know what he brings to the table, 28.4 points per game. So Spider Mitchell won't be in the lineup here tonight for the Cavaliers. Memphis, of course, at home here this year. They've played very strong basketball, 19-3 at the house this year, straight up, 14-7-1 against the spread. They are back to, cannibalizing teams really the last couple of games. They've crushed Indiana 130-112 and then 136-106 after that in their last game. So just destruction in both of those games. Without Mitchell, I don't think I'm back in Cleveland on the road. Maybe a first half full game split with Memphis. You could look in that direction. It definitely feels like for them, they are capable of winning this game by margin. Also factor in Memphis 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread versus Cleveland. They've done very well head-to-head against the Cavs. We've seen a consistent matchup advantage for the Grizzlies in the last 3 head-to-head meetings. So it's probably the way I would go with the side, is maybe a lean toward Memphis first half full game. I do like the over. I'm going to trend that way with that. I mean, Memphis is rolling with overs right now. 7 straight have gone over the total between these for Memphis, I should say, in their last 7 games. Even the Cleveland Cavaliers, we've seen For the most part, they've been a very good defensive team, but defense hasn't been nearly as shut down as maybe it was early in the season, and on the road as well. Their defense has suffered a little bit more. So I think over the total is the way I'd play it from a total standpoint, and really tough for me to back Cleveland. No Mitchell on the road where they're weaker than they are at home, much weaker. And you got this Memphis team just firing on all cylinders right now. So Grizzlies or pass. What do you think here, Dutch? Cavs, Grizz?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy Swiss. I see you, my man. MDR24 in the building. And Rocco, man. Fuck Atlanta and that little motherfucker. It's Luka the motherfucking Don all day. God damn it. This game is very intriguing to me. I will say. I liked Cavaliers when I woke up. I said 7.5. Okay, they're gonna step up with Spider Mitch their first game out. Garland should be able, Ja gets all the fucking hype. Richly deserved. He definitely deserves all. He's a bad motherfucker, but Garland pretty nice, man. If he's not laying on the ground fucking crying about some bullshit, he's pretty nice. I would look for him to have a big game tonight, but then I started looking into a little more, and obviously Jared Allen and Mobley, the two bigs. Should be able to battle a little bit inside with the Grizzlies. But, man, the Cavaliers have been pretty suspect on the road, and when they lose, they don't really cover the number as well. As my guy Nets Betts pointed out, he is on the Grizzlies. He got it at -6.5. I believe the line, good number there. So this game to me seems very sharp. I'm not going to lie. So they Grizzlies won 10 straight in a row, but when I look at it, I'm like, who have they really beat in those 10 basketball games? Really, they haven't beat nobody in those 10 basketball games, but they beat everybody damn near at the crib with the stats that Bobano gave you there. So tough basketball game. Intrigued to watch this basketball game. I think this number is pretty fucking sharp, to be honest with you. So I would lean the points. You're muted, bro.
Leaning toward the points with Cleveland. All right, Billy, what do you think?
The Grizzlies are always in a smash spot when they're at home, man. 35, 15, and 1 ATS last 51 home games. Grizzlies are 7-3 ATS last 10 games overall. I mean, I got to back them here. No, Cavs aren't going to be without Mitchell here. Cavs are 3-12-2 ATS last 17 road games. And historically, they have played well in Memphis, though. 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings in Memphis. I like the Grizzlies first half here, -3.5, -125. Grizzlies are 15-6-1 ATS in the first half this year. Second best first half record in the NBA. So we're rocking them, and we're taking them in the first half to cover. I think the Grizzlies win the full game, but I don't think I'm going to be laying 7.5 points with the Grizzlies. So.
All right, so just the first half here with the Memphis Grizzlies for Billy Briz tonight, hosting the Cavs. All right, we've got the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City, the Thunder. OKC 4-point home favorites, 238.5, 239 the total in this one. Thunder favored, and sometimes you wonder a little bit, Thunder when they're favorites, do we really want to back them? I actually think I do want to back them here. They're playing well. Oklahoma City, they're rolling. They've beaten some really good teams. I mean, Philly, Chicago, Brooklyn. What the hell is this team doing all of a sudden? Oklahoma City, I mean, they're beating heavyweights right now. Dallas, they're beating good basketball. They crushed Boston, to begin the year, January the 3rd. I mean, this is not just a winning streak that they've gone 6-2 in their last 8. A lot of these wins are against some of the better teams in this damn league. So we better put some respect on what the Thunder are doing right now. Meanwhile, the Pacers, they're kind of going in the other direction. No Ty Halliburton, no win. That's what we've seen here in the last 4 games for the Pacers. 0-4 straight up, covered just one number. This is the Thunder for me. They're definitely in better form right now. 3.5, 4, I laid it with OKC. Totals wise, again, this is probably another hard to make a case for the under with OKC. They've gone over in 7 of their last 8. Indiana, no defense at all in their last 2 games. Memphis puts up 130. Milwaukee, 132. I mean, they didn't get a single stop in the second half of that game. If you had Indiana, by the way, in that game, +10, +9 at Milwaukee, in that game on Martin Luther King Day, early start, no Giannis to boot, and they still come all the way back, the Bucks, to win and cover. Horrible meltdown by the Pacers in that fourth quarter. Brutal if you had them plus the points on Monday. Not again. Give me the Thunder here. Laying the points, lean over the total as well. But this Thunder team, gosh, what a month they've had. What do you think here, Dutch? Thunder hosting the Pacers.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Winter Circle, JK, Moody. I see you, my man. I don't like this game really at all. I do agree completely with you, though. It's OKC. I mean, it has to be. Shout out to our guys who have been all, Wham Bam and Ski all over Halliburton. And I came around, but man, this motherfucker might be a little even nicer than we all think. They can't win a basketball game without these boys. They do have some guys that can still put the ball in the bucket, but I do believe OKC, man. I'm like, damn, these boys, like you said it, Babano, they're winning basketball games and against good basketball teams. So the end Pacers are not a good basketball team, in my opinion, without their star point guard. So OKC or nothing, but I'm not in the business of laying 4 points with OKC.
Yeah, this situation is what the MVP award, MVP was created for. Most valuable player. You can make a case that's Ty Halliburton because they've been a disaster without him here in Indiana. Look at the way the team's form has just gone downhill ever since he got injured. So this, it truly does look like he might be a first half of the season MVP candidate, honestly, in the NBA, because just look at what they were like with him and what the disaster they've turned into without him here the last few games. Billy Briz, what do you think here? Indy, OKC.
Touch got me rolling though. It's hard to fade the Thunder at home. They're 4-1 ATS last 5 home games, 6-0 ATS last 6 overall. On paper, I think there is a little bit of line value in the Pacers, but I don't think I'm going to back the Pacers without Halliburton in there, man. To be honest with you, I mean, TJ McConnell might be the one that might be celebrating. His stats are looking great, but I kind of lean toward Andrew Nembhard over 18.5 points and assists plus 100. But the only thing that makes me hesitant is that he's yet to hit double digits since Halliburton's been out. So, I mean, it's a little bit hard. One day I'm going to play it, but it's on the radar, but not tonight. If you want to get a little bit greasy, a little same game parlay, you could throw that in there. But this is a backwood.
All right. Yeah.
All right, LA Clippers and Utah Jazz, 8.5-point home favorites, 228 the total in this one. Utah, very impressive, I'll say that. But I was very pissed off with Minnesota. I mean, they were leading pretty much the entire game. They lose 126-125 at the end. But give the Jazz credit, came all the way back, got the victory. That's now 3 wins in their last 4 games for them. They now return home. Here's another team that a lot of their games trending over the total lately has me leaning that way here. Clippers, not so much, though. Clippers, we know, they can struggle offensively, capable at times defensively when they've got their full allotment. Will that be the case tonight? We know that's not always the case, and it really doesn't look like it's going to be the case tonight. No Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard, Luke Kennard out. It looks like Ivica Zubac as well, the big guy, the starting center, questionable, left knee contusion. So definitely could be a shorthanded and depleted Clippers team. So, that's why, initially I'm interested in the Clippers as underdogs. I mean, I'm not ready to lay points with Utah in this magnitude. As of late, they've been a little bit hit or miss when they've been laying points as favorites. They've been good dogs, but they've been not so good as favorites. I'm not laying this number with Utah, but again, Clippers totally shorthanded. So tough game. I'm passing. What do you think here, Dutch? Clippers, Jazz.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Adam Larkin. I see you, my man. Fuck this basketball game. Back with it.
All right. Yeah.
That was just basically my own internal feelings on this game, pointed out right there by Dutch. Yeah, exactly. F this game. It's not something I have any interest betting, certainly from a side perspective. Billy Briz, what do you think here?
It's Wednesday night, and I got money on female women's MMA over this basketball game. So that's how I feel about it. So back with this bitch.
All right. Yeah.
And you should have money on female MMA over this game because there's probably a better edge with the female MMA than this game. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So no problem with that. All right, Minnesota, Denver. Denver up to 10 now as favorites here at home. 238 the total in this one between these two. You look at this matchup here, the Nuggets they've all of a sudden been just this terror on home floor lately. Very impressive. I mean, Orlando did get a point spread cover against them at home, but lately here at the house, I mean, Miami, Boston, Clippers, Cleveland, Lakers, Suns, Magic, Blazers, and all but one of those games at home, they won and covered as well. So Denver's just rolling right now, playing their best basketball of the season. Does feel a little inflated. Minnesota's not chopped liver. Minnesota off a dreadful collapse down the stretch to Utah in their last game. Minnesota's actually played Denver very well. Going back to December of last season, Minnesota's 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread head-to-head against the Denver Nuggets. Now, they are depleted tonight. Anthony Edwards, questionable with the left hip issue. We've got Austin Rivers game time decision, already ruled out Rudy Gobert. And, of course, Karl Anthony Towns has been out for a while. So I get it. They're really a shorthanded bunch. Denver is rolling, but based on this series history, I think 10 might be a little steep, quite honestly, in this game. I know Denver, it looks like, has everybody available to them tonight, although there's some question about Murray. I think Murray's going to play, though. Yeah, that's what I thought. Murray's been upgraded to probable tonight for the Nuggets. Bones Highland probable as well for the Denver Nuggets in this game. Keep in mind, though, it is a rest advantage for Minnesota. Minnesota played at home against Utah on Monday. It is back-to-back for Denver after beating Portland at home 122-113 last night. So not at 10. I ain't laying 10 with Denver, and especially with Minnesota playing this team tough. But Minnesota just I'm not going back to them either after what they did on Monday. That was disgusting, losing that game against Utah. As you can tell, I'm still angry about it. So, yeah, if I had to, I'd take Minnesota. Not doing it. What do you think here, Dutch?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Markel. Brian, I see you, my man. Nunya in the building. And Rayhan, Mr. Ryder, I see you, my man. Good to see you. He'll be out here in Vegas this weekend. He reached out. I will be back late Saturday night. So I'm going to link up with my guy, I believe, at the link on Sunday. So if you want to vibe the fuck out with us, I'm going to reach out to Ski, Mr. Prophet, C Matt, Connor Matt, because Rayhan's a real one. So we're going to bring out the real ones. And anyone else want to bring vibe the fuck out with us, hit us up, man. You know, DM my guy Rayhan. We'll link up with y'all. If you're in the 702, we'll vibe the fuck out. We'll be cushion the air, believe that. Yeah, man. What game? Yeah, fuck this basketball game. Back with this motherfucker.
All right. Yeah.
All right, Billy, what do you think here?
I'll be patiently waiting at the window. Hopefully, we'll be with some cash tickets, and we'll flip the money on Naz Reid tonight, man. If we can get some Naz Reid props from the books, pull their arms a little bit, tweet them out. Maybe this Naz Reid prop will pop up because we all know he's going to start for Rudy Gobert. He's going to be probably the highest owned daily fantasy player on DraftKings and FanDuel. But the books don't want to put his player props up. It's like, what the fuck, man? But Naz Reid.
Yeah, that's always – there's always instances like that throughout the course of the season where you're just finding out some good info about a player and maybe increase in minutes or whatever the case may be, and the book doesn't have the guy on the prop board. Very frustrating, especially when you know you got something good that you want to take advantage of. All right, Sacramento Kings, LA Lakers. Last game for this Wednesday night slate. Sacramento, 2-point road favorites, 246.5 the total in this game. We've got the Lakers. Actually, the Lakers, I'll give them a little bit of credit. They've been point spread machines, to be honest. 7 of their last 9, in fact. 7-2 ATS streak for the Lakers coming into this game tonight against Sacramento. Although the Kings are really rolling as well. They've won 4 straight and covered 4 straight. Granted, the competition hasn't been great. I guess the toughest team was Orlando, and then they beat the Rockets twice and then the Spurs. So it's not like they've been beaten world beaters, but they've won and covered 4 straight. They've been soaring offensively, just lighting it up here the last several games. That's what I'm looking at. Never mind a side necessarily, although I think in this situation, I lean a little Lakers at home as dogs, but I'm just going over this number. It's 5 straight overs for Sacramento. We know that for the most part, with no Anthony Davis, the weeks he's been out, we've seen this team just really lack on the defensive end and play even faster. Look, I know this total is extremely high, 246.5, 247, and it's not easy to bet an over with a total this high. But just look at these Sacramento games, the last 3, 250, 253, and 251. They all got into the 250s. The last meeting with these two teams earlier this month got to 270. 136, 134 was the final score. 270 freaking points in that last meeting with these two teams. December 21st, last month, 254 between these two teams. Yeah, it's high. It still may not be high enough. For me, I'll go over 246.5 here. What do you think here, Dutch? Kings and Lakers to wrap it up.
Yeah, man, we got Pablo Escobar in the motherfucking building. Well, salute to you, my dude. Yeah, our guy Nets bets liking the Kings here -4. I liked it as well. Now it's dropped here. I was looking to see why. Obviously, people are just liking the Lakers at the crib here. I like Sac though. I do. I think Sacramento here is good money. There's levels to this shit. And I think they're a better basketball team than the LA Lakers. They did, as you touched on it, and I knew you would be on this over, Bobano. I'm not a totals guy, but it screams over. I expect this game to be a show. So props, anything props, should be props all over this game. A lot of fucking points. As you mentioned, these two teams played January 7th, 136-134. The Lakers actually won in Sacramento as a 7-point dog. LBJ dropped 37, 8, and 7. Schroeder fucked around and had 27. And Russ went back in the time machine with 23, 15, and 5. The Lakers literally played like shoot around. They shot 61% from the fucking field in that basketball game, 43.8% from deep. I don't expect that to happen again, as they still only won the game by 2 points. They have lost the prior 3 meetings against the Kings. They are 1-5 ATS last 6 at the crib versus Sacramento. And Sacramento has been a profitable team on the road, 12-7 ATS on the road against this year, and 4-1 straight up and against the number last 5 overall. They are off 2 days rest here. I think they will simply run the Lakers out eventually fourth quarter. I do expect this game to be somewhat close, but I think LBJ and the boys die down late. They might fuck around and let Russ have the ball in the hand at the end again, and then it'll work out pretty well for Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox, the most clutch player in the fourth quarter. I look for him to shine when it counts most. Sabonis should be able to eat against these boys. They have absolutely nothing for him. Herter and Barnes and these boys need to make open shots from the perimeter. De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis will do the rest. Sacramento Kings -2, good money.
Yeah, you know what's funny? De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis are the catalysts. I mean, he's the perimeter catalyst, De'Aaron Fox, and of course, Domantas Sabonis inside is the offensive catalyst in the paint area. Don't sleep though on the veteran. Harrison Barnes has just all of a sudden exploded here. He's is way over his season average here the last few games. He's averaging like 24, 25 points per game the last few, and they've only got his points prop at 16.5. Like he's been going over that number pretty consistently. Here the last few games, I would say 5-6 games for Sacramento. So Harrison Barnes for them might be worth a prop look in this game. There's a lot, but anyway, a lot of players are probably worth a prop look in a game like this with a total of 247 and probably not much defense to be seen on either side. Billy Briz, what do you think? I mean, obviously there's got to be some props that are tickling your fancy here with this game.
For sure. The Kings are 4-1 ATS last 5 road games, 4-0 ATS last 4 overall. I think I might be eventually, if the night goes well and we're rolling over some money, I'm definitely thinking about betting the Kings against the Lakers. I don't know what the public's thinking. I get it. The Lakers are 4-1 ATS last 5 home games, but they're 7-18-1 ATS last 26 games versus a team with a winning record, despite being 7-2 ATS last 9. So they're beating up on bad teams, but they're not beating the good teams. I like Domantas Sabonis over 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists, -105. Got that at BetMGM. He's gone over his PRA in 9 out of his last 13 games, and it hit versus the Lakers in their first 2 matchups. The Lakers allowed the second most assists to centers, 4th most points to centers, and 9th most rebounds to centers. The last 5 centers versus the Lakers, Alfred Sengun had 54 PRA, Joel Embiid 50 PRA, Christian Wood 44 PRA, Nikola Jokic 41 points, rebounds, and assists only off of 5 shots, and Sabonis had 44 points, rebounds, and assists in their last matchup. So we're rocking with Sabonis points, rebounds, and assists.
All right, there we go. That's the Wednesday card. Great stuff. Thanks to everyone in the chat. As always, 240 live viewers. Run it up. Hit that like button. Come on, hit that like button. Very important. We appreciate it very much. Great viewership. But again, hit that like button and become a YouTube member as well here at Pub Sports Radio for $4.99 a month. Tons of great perks, incentives. If you want more cash giveaways from the man himself, Jeff Slaughter, more contests that we had during NFL season, more get-togethers, Pub Sports Radio events. That's how you make it happen. Become a Pub Sports Radio YouTube member for just $4.99 a month. All right, it's Best Bets coming up and Dutch's Freshest Look coming up as well right after we hear from Southtown 101 and Manscaped. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke at Southtown 101 and manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0, any Manscaped product, 20% off and free shipping with promo code PubSports. All right, best bets, Dutch's freshest look for a Wednesday. Dutch, freshest look, what do you got?
Yeah, man. Our guy Brian Watson does say we only got 77 motherfucking likes. That's this motherfucking respectful. Come on now, run that bitch up. We're going to run it up just like we about to run up your motherfucking accounts. And the freshest look, well, we're going to Dallas where the stars rise. And the number one star in the association, Luka the motherfucking Don. We're going first quarter here. I am on first quarter, first half, and full game. But I love this first quarter here. Get it done. Minus 115. Mavericks. Good money.
There you go. Mavericks to get it done, minus the 2, minus the deuce against Atlanta. There we go. Freshest look for Dutch. Billy Briz, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, we're going to go down there in Memphis, and we're back in the Grizzlies, minus 125, minus 3.5 first half, and late night hammer, and we're going to take Sabonis over 43.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
All right, there we go. Multiple best bets for Billy Briz. My best bet, I'm going to give you 2. Best bets here for Wednesday. One side, one total. Oklahoma City, minus 3.5 against Indiana. They're just the better form right now. They're rolling. Indiana struggling without Ty Halliburton. 0-4 straight up without Halliburton. Short number. We'll lay the price with the Thunder, minus 3.5 against the Pacers. And the total that I like, Charlotte-Houston. Let's go over 236.5 there. Hornets and Rockets. So there you go. One side and one total. Best bet for me here on this Wednesday NBA slate. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of the NBA Pub Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Again, one more time, hit that like button before you head on out. We'll be back tomorrow, of course, 4 p.m. Eastern on this show, NBA Pub Up. It'll be Dutch hosting along with Ski Profit and Durrell tomorrow on the Thursday edition. Connor Mack and yours truly coming up 15 minutes. College basketball net profit. Right here on Pub Sports Radio for Dutch and for Billy Briz. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again tomorrow on the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. We got some of the real ones arriving late. Mr. Razor Sharp picks in the motherfucking building. Shout out to our guy and leader of the Nerd Nation, picks from Dave. Salute to the real ones holding us down in the chat. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.